Hello everybody. Nice to see you today. We're here doing a Q&A video after almost 7 years of, 7 years in August of this channel. So a true Q&A video with me, Charlie. If you're confused right now, I'm trying to, I don't want to be bending down the whole time, but maybe let me adjust. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. If you're confused right now, you probably didn't see the video I did almost 2 years ago where we revealed the character reveal where Dalton's a character, but I think a lot of you know that by now. If you don't, then that's the deal. So we're going to be answering these questions, okay? Or I am going to. I'm going to start from the first to the last question, in the order that they were submitted. I don't think I'm going to get to all of them, so I might skip some of them too. And if I skip yours, I'm so sorry. This is off the cuff. Typically the videos are off the cuff, and we just run with them. We make $1 out of 99 cents, as you might say. So this is after a hiatus of a few months. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. And I was glad, I think we got 50 questions here. Okay, let's begin. And let's hope the voice level is good, but we're not going to worry too much. This is for relaxation purposes, so we're everything's fine. First question. Tyrelius the Great. He says, I hope you're doing well, Dalton. My question is, if you could pick a color of lightsaber, what color would you pick? My answer to that is red, because Kylo Ren's saber was pretty sweet, and so was Darth Maul's. If I had to pick between those two, I'd say I like Darth Maul's better because it was, it's a little dangerous though. So I don't know how he never caught himself with it, to be honest with you. He had to have been the best, saberman in the galaxy, because that thing was double-ended. Okay, you're going to catch yourself by accident, and he never did. So hats off to Darth Maul. Joe Craft says, Hey Dalton, I have a few that I wanted to ask. 1, what is your favorite band? 2, do you play other instruments besides guitar? And 3, have you ever played in a band? My favorite band is probably Senses Fail. Senses Fail is kind of like a post-hardcore band. A little bit of a pop, emo kind of stuff. They started in the early 2000s. Had a really good album in 2004 called Let It Enfold You. That was probably their best and did their best doing album. 2, so that's the first question. The second, do you have other instruments besides guitar? Or do you play other instruments? I produce music, and I play keyboard, synthesizer, and drum machine. And I produce my own songs, and I sing. 3, have you ever played in a band? I tried playing in bands growing up, but it was always really ADD, so all of us were always on a different wavelength, and all of us were always into a different style of stuff, and you try to get together and write stuff, and you just end up one of you is playing metal guitar, and then the drummer is playing Tom Petty slowness, and it just didn't work out. Okay, ASMR Lazo says, here are my questions. 1, where have you been? And 2, are you a sports fan? The answer to this first one will answer a lot of these, because some other people said that too. So, where have I been? So when I do these hiatuses and periods where I'm not uploading, it's usually because I'm just doing other stuff, and realistically there's always time to do a video, but it's not always the priority, especially recently. But the same in the same arena there. It feels better to be creative and to be constantly doing that. So I try to get back on track when I can. But I've been just, in short, right now I'm at a point in my life where we're trying to grow, and we're making some good decisions and trying to advance some things. And it's been challenging, maybe. We've been trying to advance some life things, some personal stuff, and trying to grow as a person, and all of that is challenging. So yeah. 2, are you a sports fan? I'd say no. I tried to get into sports growing up. Tried to watch football, and I played baseball. I played soccer. I played I think I played basketball for a little bit. I was sucked at all of them. Okay, I tried. When I played soccer, here's a good example. When I played soccer and I would get the ball, I would just kick it as far as I could. Now, there's no strategy in that. And I was thinking, like, I'm this big force of nature. I'm just going to kick this ball. It's going to get in the other goal. It doesn't work like that. We learned that the hard way. We swore off sports for our whole life. I played rugby a little later when I was 15 and 16, and I sprained my ankle. I was really bad at rugby, but I met a lot of good guys in rugby. And they all taught me to chew tobacco, too. So that was a good period of time. Okay. Tired says, 1, hobbies, ? 2, why do you start on ASMR? 3, favorite song. 4, how are you? Hobbies? I'd say music, video games, biking. If driving is a hobby, I like to drive. Biggest hobby is probably this channel as well. This is my most fruitful hobby where it actually saw some growth. 2, why did you start on ASMR? Second question. Started on ASMR because I saw that it was a way to be creative in videos, and there was no limit to that. So you could play characters, you could film water and film sounds and tapping, and so I said, wouldn't it be cool to start a channel where it's this humble countryman who's like, I just want to be a part of this new thing on YouTube. I started it in 2013 when it was still pretty small, and I was like, it would be a good project to be that and to see how that goes. And then, yeah, favorite song. Favorite song. I think my favorite song is Give Yourself a Try by The 1975. That song, well, if we elaborate on all these, this video is going to be 2 hours, so I'll try to keep from doing that too much. But the reason I like that song so much is because it's really in the red, and it's kind of like a fast pop song that's, if you listen to it, you'll know what I mean. And it's really kind of abrasive, and it just makes me want to move and satisfies the something in the brain. I don't know. 4, Tired says, their fourth question is, how are you? I'm okay. Everything's okay. We're just we're in the game of life right now, and making some different moves, and trying to advance some things, like I was saying, and trying to grow, trying to learn and listen more, and I'm going to be 30 soon, so that's a big deal. Okay. No Filter, a Nintendo podcast, asks, what are your fondest video game memories? ? Any games that you really enjoy that are generally deemed awful? That's a good question. My fondest video game memories, my fondest one is Conker's Bad Fur Day, playing that when I was 10. It's a Nintendo 64 game where you're a squirrel and it's British. There's a lot of British humor in it, and it's so funny because like British humor, like if you guys know, there's a lot of like shit humor and farting and bodily stuff, and just it's a lot like more kind of sometimes not vicious, but like, you know, you kind of know what I mean. Like if you've ever seen the show The In-Betweeners, like that's a good British comedy show, I feel like. Any games you really enjoy that are generally deemed awful? Earthworm Jim 3D as a game on N64 that I really liked, that got really bad reviews, but I like 100% of that game, and I played it a lot, and it's like one of my favorite games of all time. Earthworm Jim 3D on Nintendo 64. Okay, Super Chasney 198 says, will you be doing any more reacting to ASMR videos? I love the Daisy checks you in response. Maybe ASMR darling. So if you guys don't know what they're talking about, as Dalton, I did some videos where I responded to ASMR videos, like where I would play their video and talk to them and answer their questions as if I was there with them. I would talk to them in the video, like where it'd be one side it was me, one side it's them, and just responding to them, trying to be kind of funny, and I think those went pretty well. So I'm gonna do more of those. Yes, that'll be good, because a big part of the reason why I started ASMR, which I guess this answers one of the previous questions too, is that I wanted it to be funny. So the whole thing of Dalton is that I, thought of this kind of quirky, funny character that has got some flaws and stuff, but also is a pretty genuine, nice person, but just the word mess ups and the style and everything. I wanted people to be relaxed, but also laughing, so it's not so serious. And I try to keep that energy in a lot of my videos. At least now and stuff. Mr. Smiley says, do you use your characters anywhere other than YouTube? Well, so I do elements of characters all the time in like daily life. I'll do accents and stuff. I mean, most of the people I know and stuff, but it's kind of just rolling off from one to the next. And I like doing accents and having fun and being humorous, and so I'll do a lot of different voices sometimes, just naturally, kind of. So I guess the answer is yes. Okay, Seanjamin asks, if you could switch any two colors with each other, which two would you pick and why? I'd switch black and white, because then there's still one of each. I don't exactly get that question, but that's fine. 2, if you were stranded on an alien planet, what 5 of your possessions would you want to have with you? 5. iPhone 11, that is. Okay. 2, custom gaming PC. 3, possessions. You're on an alien planet. Can't ride a bike because there's no gravity. 3 might be my dust mask, or it's like a respirator, because I don't think you should be breathing in the stuff up in the alien planet, so I'd need a respirator to be breathing and not dying up there. 4, good possession would be, man, this is hard. This is tough. So we've got, what do we have? We have hold on, I forget what I said. Okay, we have the iPhone 11, the custom gaming PC. What the hell was the third? Oh yeah, the breather, or the dust mask. The 4th would be maybe my car, and the 5th possession would be a copy of the book Push by Sapphire. Okay. And he has more Okay, Chandra has more questions, but I think we're going to keep moving because this video will be really long. Hunter Rudeness says, how's it been going? It's been going okay. Caden Haas says, do you prefer Megadeth or Metallica? I'd say Megadeth over Metallica because I like their faster, kind of more aggressive stuff. Megadeth has a song called 99 Ways to Die, and it's really good. Caden also asks, favorite kind of pizza? I'd say pepperoni stuffed crust. Chris A. If you could have lunch with one person alive or dead, who would it be? Let's see. That would be, let me think about that, if they're alive or they're dead. Okay. Maybe Robin Williams. That's a good one. 2. What's generally the first thing you notice about a person? The first thing you notice about a person. Maybe how big their butt is. 3. Looking forward to any video games coming out in the future. Resident Evil 3 Remake. That's going to be really good. 2 Remake was really good, and 3 Remake is going to be sweet. 4. What makes you laugh the most? It's hard now because I feel like really, I don't know, like that one's pretty tough. What makes me laugh the most? Maybe, that's a hard one. Silliest fear, flying on a plane, I'd say. 6, Chris A asks, how come you and Ephemeral Rift never did that collab you talked about in the last Q&A? So Ephemeral Rift asked me to do a pizza video with him years ago, and I never responded because I was, back then I was kind of intimidated. I had never reached out to anybody. I never reached out to any other ASMR creators, or really talked to that many of them. But then I sent him an email at one point and told him I'm still up for that, and I'm sorry, I apologize for not replying and stuff, but that was a little while later, and we talked back and forth a little bit, and it was like open to doing it at some point, but I'm not sure if it'll ever happen. You got it. We're talking about developing our live right now, so it's one thing I've learned is when you've got that when you got a good opportunity on the table, don't overthink it. Okay, take it. If you know it's a good opportunity and that it would be a fun, beneficial thing, go do it. Don't overthink it. When you overthink stuff, you think about all the possibilities and terrible things and good things, and then you're just like, you can't do that. You just gotta do it. Okay. Trevor Eastman Guitar says, I play guitar as well, which makes me ask you, are you a lead guitarist or more rhythm? I'd say a lead guitarist, because I like, more of the solo kind of stuff and playing solos and action with the fingers and stuff. Austin Bernhard says, if you could have any question answered, what would it be? Okay, any question answered. Any question answered. Any question answered at all? What the hell do I want to know? Any question. I might have to come back to that one. I'm going to come back. Cole Mishi says, why my guy look like Conan Moccasin? Conan Moccasin is my brother, so that's why. Okay. Okay, Ben Harden, this is a good question. He says, what made you decide to reveal that Dalton was a character, ? Because I definitely thought he was a real person and was a bit shocked. So, I mentioned in the one video when I revealed the stuff, not that I'm saying, like, you should know this or something. I'm just saying, I think I mentioned briefly that I mentioned that I started off doing only the Dalton character, and then after like 6 or so videos, I was just like, all right, this is just what we're doing now because all these people think that's what it is, and we'll just like Borat or Sacha Baron Cohen. Like, I mean, we'll play the one character like the Ollie G show, or I mean, now that's what we're that's what we're doing. And I just was like, all right, it'll be the one character, and I can have him try to do his own role plays and where he's like trying to do the voices without his accent. And then the reason I revealed that he was a character is because I just I just thought it was like, there's no way this channel is going to grow or see its full potential as just Dalton. I would get a lot of comments back then and just on videos that were like, yeah, I love your videos, you're such a simple man and so nice, and you're just it's so simple, and I love that about it. And that kind of communicated a little bit of like, well, maybe these videos are too simple, so let's first of all say, well, we've been doing a role play the whole time, and then also try to branch out from that and do other characters, because like I don't think it ever would have seen its full potential, or with just being Dalton. And I definitely still think that wherever it goes, but from here wherever, but I don't I thought that was too restrictive, and I was like, let's be theatrical and do other stuff. Okay. James Dunn says, where are you from? Good to see you again. Pennsylvania. Okay. Someone else says, where have you been? And that's I answered that. Okay. Okay, Lisa Berg says, 1, where do you go in the long periods between uploads? And I kind of answered that. 2, will you and GB do another collab in the future? 3, will you do a guitar video? You're a very talented young man. Thank you, Lisa. I answered the first one already, basically. So the second one, will you and GB do another collab? I never collabed with her. I just did an unofficial collab where I responded to her video as Dalton, and I did a few of those with her. I think 2 or 3 with GB. Not as a collab, but as an unofficial, like where I didn't ask her and didn't talk to her, which kind of makes me want to. Well, I'll say this after this third one. Will you do a guitar video? You're a very talented young man. I've done a few guitar videos, and maybe I'll do another one. Maybe I'll even do a like a music production tour thing, where I'll show you guys the software and the songs I've worked on. So when you ask about the collab thing. So, yeah, I've been on YouTube, since August 2013. Had this channel since then, and haven't really talked to any other ASMR creators that often. So sometimes, like rarely, I'll get a comment from somebody. Like a few that I remember are ASMR Angel, if you guys know who she is, Ephemeral Rift about the pizza thing, about the pizza asking, and I think he shared some of my earlier videos, which helped get some traction. And then a few other Ghetto ASMR one time commented, I think, on something. But yeah, this whole time it's been kind of like I don't want to say lonely, but at the same time, I do think I'll be like, man, you should try to get in contact with some of these people, and just make friends in the community and talk to other creators, because it's nice to get inspired by other people and to feel like you've got friends that are in this together kind of thing. And I see that some of them do meetups and stuff like that, and they'll I've seen a bunch of collab videos and all that, and that's just, I guess, on me kind of to reach out or something like that. But I feel like a lot of, well, we could talk all day, but I guess the last thing I'll say about that is, and this comes back to the reason why I decided to break out of the Dalton character. A lot of people see that, ASMR creators or people, and it's like, oh, look, this cute country boy's just trying to make this work, and it's so funny, and that. It's sort of like, they probably wouldn't, I don't think people would entertain the thought of wanting to be connected to that. And I also think about the gun stuff, those gun videos I did. I mean, you could think about stuff all day, but where I'm kind of like, well, they probably don't want to be connected to that either, even though that's kind of just like character reinforcement stuff, and how things are going right now with all of that in this country and whatever. But we're not going to get political, but we're just overthinking right now. Okay, let's just answer these questions. Okay, Neon Red Vans says, will you remember us when you're famous? Yes, I will. I promise. Never forget. The whole time we've been on YouTube, we're almost at 12,000 subscribers. And that only took, let me think, that only took almost, 6.5 years. So that's probably, that breaks a record right there in itself. Upper Crust the Third says, favorite foods, ? Fond childhood memories, ? Creepiest moment in your life. Excuse me. Favorite foods. Favorite food, pizza. Pizza, definitely. General Tso tofu. Okay, white chocolate Reese's cups. Yeah, those are my favorite, some of my favorite foods. Fond childhood memories. We used to be some troublemakers, okay? Specifically when we were like 13 and 14. We had a lot of fun times. Skateboarding around and, just causing mischief, but nothing that really did anything. And we all knew it was all in good fun. But just, let me think, memories just, specifically, good childhood memory is me and a few friends after school would go skate to the grocery store that was near a few of our houses. We would get I specifically remember getting Blue Monster, and like Slim Jims and beef jerky, just skating around the parking lot and eating that. And the only thing you're worried about is if you can land your kickflip, okay? You're not worried about making rent. You're not worried about paying car insurance. You're not worried about getting that new job. You're just kind of like, I like this Slim Jim and I love this Monster, and hopefully soon we'll get some girls because we're at the age where we really want them, and we're thinking too much into that. Again, we're thinking too much. But I mean, it's good to elaborate on stuff, especially for this video, I think. Creepiest moment in your life. In your life. I wonder if I should edit out these pauses. I might just keep them in for some, authenticity. It'd be a little genuine. Creepiest moment. Okay. One time when we were 14, this guy, we were in an alleyway. So this happened. We were in an alleyway, and this guy, he had like a knapsack, and he had like a ratty ponytail and huge glasses, and he was like, hey, you guys want to see something? And we're like, yeah, but we're like, this guy's scaring the shit out of me, but let's just keep distance and come with him. And he's like, right there, that's where they shot the wall the other night or something. And he's like, look at the hole in the wall. He's talking about some guy like shooting a wall. And it was just really weird that he was like, I want you guys to come check it out. Like, come closer. Like, and that's probably not the creepiest. It was kind of funny, but that's the one I can remember off the top of my brain here. Okay, Sly Conrad says, I've got 2 questions. One serious and one that's much more casual. What's your honest opinion on the current zeitgeist of the ASMR community? And what food have you wanted to eat for an ASMR video but haven't gotten around to? So, the current zeitgeist, it means like the overarching theme kind of, or the overarching feel of it right now. It's, honestly, it's come a long way since when I first started on it. It's a lot more creative and people just build off each other's creativity. And it's pretty meta as well. Like, you'll see videos like punching you to sleep, and or I don't know if that's meta, but like just it's getting like kind of funnier and more creative and more with the memes of nowadays. Like drooling in the bathroom with your 16-year-old friend, or like something like stuff like that. Punching you to sleep. Oh yeah, a really funny one was like 1200's Nun role play by Angelica, or 1300s or something. She like plays a nun, and it's like, you have the plague. That makes me like, actually, that's pretty funny. I don't want to laugh in this video because it's for an ASMR video. Okay, but the zeitgeist of it, I think it's in a cool place, honestly. And that the cool thing that drew me to it in the beginning was that just do what you want to and be as creative as you want, and you can get a fan base. The guy ASMR Zeitgeist himself, his channel is like really high production value and like very close up and just like a lot of intense sounds, and you can do that, or you can do like funny role plays mixed with serious ones, mixed with like just like, hey, what's in my bag, and all kinds of combinations. And it's just cool that I think it's in a good place, and I like to see the humor in it because that's why I started it, was to try to be funny. And make people feel good and laugh. So like you're relaxed, but you're also feeling like it's not this serious role play that's like intense, where it's like just funny. Like, what's a food you haven't gotten around to eating for an ASMR video? Maybe Doritos Flamin' Hot. That might be a good one. Okay. Zach Wint says, do you ever or have you ever dabbled with drawing or painting? I would love to see a video like that from you. So I painted a styrofoam zombie head for one of my videos a few years ago, so there's that one. And I have dabbled in drawing and painting mostly when I was younger. I would draw a lot of stuff. Like, I remember drawing Goku, and I would trace over Mewtwo, traced over Zelda Majora's Mask. And I was like, I drew this. I didn't trace it. And it's like, bullshit, kid. You did trace it. I can tell. Like, I showed my mom or my grandma, and they have to kind of lie to you and be like, that's so good. And they're like, listen, I've been here longer than you. I know you traced that. You're not fooling me. That reminds me, there's a good, fond childhood memory as well. Like, why do kids think they can get away with stuff? I don't know. When you grow up, you're like, what the hell was I thinking, man? Alright, I had a Game Boy Color, okay? It was a see-through purple one. And I decided that the teal one was cooler. It works. I should have been happy with it. I was a brat, okay? Should have been satisfied with what I had. Okay, we're learning lessons, but when I was a kid, I wasn't thinking about that. I was a little spoiled brat who just wanted to watch Pokemon and play video games and eat too much food. I wanted a teal Game Boy, okay? I had this grand master plan that I would break this purple see-through Game Boy. And I I did some like shoddy job of like cracking the screen, and like I ripped off one of the battery wires, like the receptors for the batteries. And I'm like, Mom, I dropped this. It's like, you didn't drop it. Well, she didn't say that. She was just, well, she was really angry. She was like, I can tell that you destroyed this on purpose. And I was like, oh no, I'm so sorry, but I want a teal one. I had to buy the teal one myself later on. Wasn't good, okay? But I got the teal one in the end, but I had to pay the price, okay? Wasn't worth it. Oh, what the hell? Well, while we're here, when we were young, I got caught looking at some bad pictures, okay? This was before phones and stuff. And long story short, we were looking at bad pictures on the internet because we were curious. We were kids. But, nearing that time where you're like, hey, I'm interested in that, because whoever the hell's in charge of the universe was like, hey, you're supposed to like seeing that. So we did, unfortunately, and then we got in trouble because we got caught. And I got grounded into oblivion. That's another not fond childhood memory, but probably should have left that one out. But it's good to be honest sometimes, okay? And just have fun, okay? Do I ever accidentally speak in your Dalton voice in public? Is what Thor25X Gagney says. I do it on purpose sometimes, or like I'll just to make friends laugh and stuff, and if I see something like a truck or I mean, just something that's like in the part of the universe, part of the Dalton world. Okay. Lars V says, do you still play RuneScape? The ASMR videos were great. I play RuneScape sometimes, not as much as I was, but I come back to it like every now and again. Saints Crew Gaming says, how did you find out about ASMR? I found an Ephemeral Rift video, like one of his videos, or I just found him somehow on YouTube, and I saw him doing like a skincare. This was in 2012. He was doing like a skincare, like goes wrong, where his face broke out in pimples because of a crappy face cream or something, like joke role play. And then it was like a year after that where I was like messing around with the idea of like the Dalton character I'd already made kind of like a year or two before. No, probably 2009, because there's a video of me, of my friends, doing that Dalton voice, and I remember I was wearing an AC/DC shirt, and I was talking about like drinking beer down by the creek or something like that, and I was like, Dalton's gonna need some Dalton's gonna need some a beer for the next time we get in there, or something like that. But I didn't whisper it, but that's okay. So, okay. All right. So we've come to the end of our question list. The ones that I'm going to answer. David Kahn says, are you in a rock band? So no, but I do produce my own stuff. And it's kind of easier that way, because then you don't have to meet up, and you don't have to, it doesn't have to be convenient for all of you. But this video was kind of like, I don't want to say unplanned, but it was kind of off the cuff. Maybe I should have sat down and kind of been more organized about it. And it's kind of been a long time coming. And I'm sure that a lot of people, and I do see comments where people wonder and ask like the real questions, or like they're curious about stuff, but can't answer everything. But this one I feel like answered a lot of stuff. And if you haven't seen the video called The Man Behind Dalton ASMR, Who I Am, it's my channel trailer for unsubscribed visitors to my channel, but yeah, for unsubscribed, so like for someone coming into there, so they're not confused kind of thing. but check that out if you haven't seen it, because I talk about some of this stuff a little more. So in closing, guys, this has probably answered a lot of questions, and well, isn't it, as many as I wanted to and felt like people can know and stuff, because it's like a pretty new, crazy age we live in, with even pretty famous people being like just one click away or one message away. This was a question and answer video, and a lot of talking, a lot of rambling, but at the same time, I think that's the best way to treat this, and wasn't planned. Just kind of just talking a lot. It's what I do by accident and on purpose sometimes. Thank you all for watching. I can sincerely say that I appreciate everybody's interest over the years and support, and I'm excited for 2020, for this year, and what we've got in the works. We're going to be making videos this year, okay? You can be sure of that. Hey, it's 2020, we're trying to be creative. There's a man that I met, and this is honest, this is real, recently. His name's Mike, okay? I worked for him a little bit, did some DIY stuff, worked for him on houses. I was about to shop vac. I was about to, suck up some wood dust and some stuff. Be careful, the nails, they could break, and careful for the big chunks, but the smaller stuff. Anyway, I said, Mike, should I just kind of go over there and do my best in that corner? And he said, always do your best. I don't care if I'm digging a hole with a shovel or if I'm putting in a $5,000 electrical panel. Always do your best. He talks really in an interesting way, and really funny guy, really cool guy, but pretty inspirational. He said, he didn't care if he's digging a hole, do it your best. I don't care if I'm putting in an electrical panel, do it your best. And that quote kind of sat with me and stays with me now, and we'll try to apply that to this channel this year. And like everything, there's going to be people that are like, no, that's not what I want. Do what I want. You should only do what I want. And there's going to be people that are like, hey, you do what you want, and glad to watch it. But we're going to, I'm going to be making decisions, doing stuff. And some people might not like it, some people might. But that's the cool thing about YouTube and the internet, is that you kind of do what you want, and it might grow and it might not. We've been pretty humble, pretty small channel. So in that regard, I don't really have to worry about it that much. It's like we're not putting bread on the table from this channel. This has just always just been a hobby. And until that day, we just keep on keeping on. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. 2020, we're making big moves. We'll see you guys for the next video.